Thank you, gentlemen. We've analysed your sonnets, and it is my unfortunate duty to inform you that neither of you win. There is no victory here, and you should have realised this from the beginning, because poetry ultimately is not about speed. Poetry is about toil, torture and heartbreak. Better to sweat and bleed and cry for a year, pouring all of your skill and energy and craft into a poem that ends up being a complete dog's breakfast rather than accidentally spewing up a work of genius in 30 seconds like some kind of chancer. Shame on you both.
What the fuck?
Hello, and welcome to This Is Just to Say, where poetry, stories, and other loosely orbiting elements sit back, get on the cans, and just have a laugh. My name is... On this episode, we ask, is this poetry?
Somebody once told me, the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
Is this poetry? Is this poetry?
This is not poetry.
But first, something a little different. We've all heard of it. That mysterious, ancient institution lurking in the background, granting life or death to poetic projects with a dismissive wave of its eldritch hand. We all know its name, though some of us fear to speak it. But how much do we really know about it? Who stands silhouetted behind the curtain? Who pulls the strings? Who feeds the cat? What is the Arts Council? In our first piece of long-form documentary filmmaking, we sent our old pal, Robbie Strawberries, to find out. This is what happened. My name is Robert Strawberries, and I'm on a journey. The Arts Council. What's it all about? Not an easy question, pals. They're notoriously secretive about all their art shit or whatever. You can't just ring them up or email them or pop by to say hi. So I wrote them a message on paper with pen, telling them that I wanted them to consider a new artistic poetical pitch of mine for potential funding. I put the message in a disused postbox, signalled a watchful magpie, went home and waited. 3 weeks later, I received a response to my private email account, which I hadn't even included in my letter. The email contained an invitation to a Zoom call. This is what happened. Alright lads, thanks for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
You're welcome, Robbie. Can I call you Robbie?
Yeah, sure man.
Great, my name's Miss Wendy.
Cool. Can I call you Wendy?
I'd rather you didn't.
Sweet.
You're also on with Art Council.
Art Council.
Like Art Garfunkel.
Okay, banging. Before I get started with my pitch, I have a couple of questions, art-related questions, if that's okay. Rad. So first, you guys are basically in charge of art, right? Like all the art in the UK, nothing happens without your sign-off?
Basically, yes.
Okay, cool. Second question. How do you suggest that people even go about making art and poetry and shit in a time where it feels like the world is ending every day and there's no future and basically everything is just kind of horrible and futile?
You just kind of do it, really. What else can you do?
Nice. Okay, cool.
So, your pitch?
Oh yeah, so, you know how it's all about shared universes these days? No one's making anything if there aren't 50 spin-offs built into the premise. So I was thinking, what property has that much potential baked into it? Mambo number 5, Lou Bega. Hear me out. We start with Mambo number 4, which tells the story of the beer bust that he had last week, which is obviously referenced in the lyrics of Mambo number 5. It's fine to start with number 4 because they did that in Star Wars, and that's done really well. So yeah, Mambo number 4 is the beer bust and its consequences. Mambo number 5 tells the story of them riding to the liquor store around the corner, the story that we all know and love. And then Mambo number 6 would be all about the ramifications of that decision. Maybe another more serious beer bust?
Right.
Then, this is where it gets good, you have your prequel trilogy, Mambos 1 through 3. I'm not totally sure what these would focus on yet, but I'm thinking maybe they could be about the man from Mambo number 5's parents. Maybe number 1 could be about how they learned to jump up and down and move it all around. Number 2 could be about how they learned to shake their head to the sound and put their hands on the ground. And then number 3 could be about how they learned to take 1 step left and 1 step right, 1 to the front and 1 to the side.
Okay.
And then you also have the option of a ton of individual spin-offs for Monica, Erica, Angela, Pamela, Sandra, Rita, Tina, Mary, Jessica. That's potentially 9 supplementary franchises. Like, you could either have them be about what those characters did next, or they could be prequels again. Mambo number 5, Origins, Monica. You see? So yeah, that's my pitch.
That's your pitch?
Yep.
It's not really poetry, is it?
With respect, madam, do you have the authority to say that?
Yes, I do. I'm with the Arts Council.
So what did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was alright.
Anyway, thanks for your time, Robbie. We'll be in touch.
What in the living fuck was that? Jesus Christ. Insightful stuff from our Strawbs, as ever. But it is my sad duty to inform you that another episode of This Is Just to Say has come, tragically, to an end. Thank you so, so much from the bottom of my heart for being with us. I genuinely mean that. Join us for our next episode, where we will be asking the leader of the Labour Party, Keith Starmer, whether he likes poetry.
Fuck off.
We will be hosting our first This Is Just to Say virtual poetry slam. Roses are red. Violets are blue. I recently had sex. And I have left-wing views.
You see, he was a skater boy. She said, "See you later, boy." He wasn't good enough for her.
What the f*** do you mean I went over the time limit? I know how long my f***ing poems are, you smug dick.
It's dreadful. And we will be catching up with poetry's final boss, the man whose voice can make literally anything sound like a poem.
EastEnders is a British soap opera created by Julia Smith and Tony Holland, which has been broadcast on BBC One since 1985. Initially, there were 2 30-minute episodes per week, later increasing to 3. But since 2001, episodes have been broadcast on every weekday except Wednesday.
4 shivers. Until then, this is just to say, don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, if you can't love your own poetry, how the hell are you going to love someone else's poetry? Can I get an amen up in here? All right, now let the music play. I don't know if this will actually make it in. It's Robbie. I can't actually explain what's happening, but I just keep an open mind. You need to be questioning what is this show? What do you think you're watching, and who's making it? Who is the presenter? Why won't he tell you his name? I just...